Are you still revising the old way, spending hours reading guidelines and books, yet you're still not sure whether you're improving? What if there was a faster and smarter way to revise? If you want to save time and feel more confident in your exam, AI can supercharge your preparation. Hi, my name is Dr. Erwin Kwun. I've helped hundreds of GP trainees pass SEO with confidence. Today I'll show you 4 simple ways to revise smarter with AI. The last tip is going to be more handy a month before your exam, so stick around. Plus, I'm going to give you a bonus resource that you can use to organize your revision. Just a quick heads up, AI is far from perfect. It can make mistakes, so always use your own judgment. Quick question, how do you usually use AI? If you're like most students, you might be giving AI your notes and slides and asking it to summarize it, and then you're reading it. The problem with this approach is that you're not using active recall where you're pulling information from your brain. What you're doing is just reading what the AI is giving you. Don't use AI to just passively read, because it doesn't mean that you understand and memorize something. So make sure that you ask the AI to help you by quizzing you. That way you're going to use your active recall. Another common mistake is using AI like a search engine. So if you're Googling something like tell me about asthma on an AI system, then the problem is you're going to get broad generic text and it's not going to be useful for your revision. So if you're writing a prompt, don't be vague in your prompt. What you want to do is be clear, because what you feed the AI in is going to be relevant in what you're going to get out. So if you're vague, you're not going to get a good output. Hi, can you help me revise women's health for the MRCGP SE examination? Please quiz me on commonly tested scenarios so I can learn about these knowledge issues I might have.
Of course. Let's start with some commonly tested topics in women's health. I'll ask you a few questions to help you revise. Ready? Here's the first one. Can you tell me the common risk factors for polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS?
Obesity.
That's correct. Obesity is a common risk factor for PCOS. Other risk factors include a family history of PCOS, insulin resistance, and certain lifestyle factors. Next question. What are the typical clinical features of endometriosis?
Typical features of endometriosis include dyspareunia, postcoital bleeding, heavy bleeding.
Yes, that's right. Endometriosis often presents with dysmenorrhea, painful periods, and heavy or prolonged menstrual bleeding. Other features can include pelvic pain, particularly during intercourse, and sometimes infertility. Here's another one. What is the first-line treatment for a woman presenting with uncomplicated urinary tract infection, UTI?
You know what trips a lot of trainees? Not knowing the latest guidelines and how to manage a condition. So these are common conditions such as COPD and diabetes mellitus, because it's usually the advanced nurse practitioner who's dealing with these patients. So what you can do is use the AI to target these high-yield scenarios and ask the AI to help you revise by quizzing you on commonly tested scenarios. For example, you could ask the AI, act as a tutor for MRCGP SEA preparation, help me revise the management of diabetes based on NICE CKS guidelines, quiz me with various case scenarios that are commonly tested in the exam. Then the AI is going to quiz you, and that way you're going to learn with much higher efficiency. The second way you can use AI is to practice explanation in layperson language without medical terminology or jargons. So let's say you have to explain benign paroxysmal positional vertigo to a patient. This might be a bit complex, so then what you can do is explain it in your own words and see how your explanation lands, and then ask the AI to give you feedback on your explanation. So let me give you an example. Please help me explain benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. I'm going to give you my explanation, and then could you please comment on the explanation whether it fits for the MRCGP SC examination without using jargons or medical terminology.
Of course. Go ahead and share your explanation, and I'll help you refine it to make it clear and straightforward for the exam.
Benign paroxysmal positional vertigo is a common condition where there is some crystals in the inner ear that can get scrambled, and they're moving, doing their own things, such that it's giving signal to the brain and making somebody feel like their head spinning or the surroundings spinning. But if we reposition these crystals back in their normal position, then this problem can be fixed.
Your explanation is quite good. Here's a slightly refined version to keep it clear and accessible. Benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, or BPPV, is a common cause of dizziness. It happens when tiny crystals in the inner ear get dislodged and move around. This causes the brain to receive mixed signals, making you feel like you're spinning or that your surroundings are spinning. By moving the head in specific ways, we can help those crystals settle back into their correct position, which usually solves the problem. This version avoids medical jargon and keeps it simple for the exam. Great job!
So the explanation that the ChatGPT gives here is quite refined. So by going through these iteration processes, you can get a much better explanation, and then you can adapt your own way of explaining to a patient. The third way to use AI is to get feedback on your simulated consultation. When you're consulting with your colleagues or your peers, make sure that you're recording your consultation. If it's audio consultation or a video consultation on Zoom or on Microsoft Teams, you copy that transcription and then you upload it on ChatGPT, or if it's Gemini, or depending on which large language model you use. And then you give it a prompt to analyze your consultation. Make sure that you get consent from that person, and don't use real patient consultation. Use simulated consultation so that you don't get into trouble. Let me give you a demonstration. I've got this transcription of a consultation and I'm going to upload it on ChatGPT. So it's very important that you give ChatGPT a good prompt. If you're not giving it a specific prompt, then it's not going to give you a good analysis. You can get access to all of these AI prompts for free. I'm going to show you how to do that at the end of this video. Sometimes people think of ChatGPT as a tool, but think of it as an assistant. If you're going to ask an assistant to do something, you have to train that assistant and you have to give them specific instruction what you're looking for. Otherwise, it's not going to know what to do with that. So this is where the SEO companion comes in. I've got this free resource that I'm going to show you how to use, and you can just copy and paste the AI prompt depending on what are the specific tasks that you want the AI to do for you. Let's say I want to analyze my history taking. I want to know whether I'm taking a focus history, have I missed something specific. So I'm going to use this AI prompt for focus history, paste it on ChatGPT, upload the transcription. Let's have a look at the analysis and the feedback that AI gives us. So you can see the feedback is quite detailed and specific. However, I have to say that there are times when ChatGPT or any of the AIs might make some mistake. So just be careful about the feedback that you're getting from here. It's only to give you a different perspective. You have to put it in context. Sometimes ChatGPT might not have all the context and some of the feedback might not be applicable. Last but not least, you can use AI to personalize your revision plan a month before your exam. Let's say you have been consulting and you've kept a log of the cases on SEO Companion. So what you can do with that data set is ask the AI to analyze the consultations, the learning, the feedback, and it's going to target these areas of weakness that you've got and make a revision plan for you so that you can target these problems before you sit your exam. That's going to be personalized based on the cases you've done, and it's really powerful because then you're using data to be more informed about what's your revision going to be focused on. If you want to grab SEO Companion for free, I'll leave a link down in the description, and make sure that you start using it and organize your revision. You'll see how powerful it is when you use AI with the data, and it's going to be helping you to revise smarter and faster. If you made it until here, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment, let me know how you're using AI, whether you're going to consider using one of those 4 tips today. And if you found this video useful, you might want to watch the next video here where I interviewed Roger Neighbor. Click here to watch it. I'll see you on the other side.